Hey, how's it going?
Hey,
All right, go ahead and send the doc if you haven't already. Looks like both you guys have. Might be another short one today if nobody else is here. All right. Yeah, I'll go ahead and start. No new faces. RFCs. Um, Nothing that needs steward. Nothing that's ready for review. And nothing voting. I assume, Hemant, you'll want to talk about uh, your RFC. So if there's no other agenda items, happy to dig into that if you're ready.
yeah, I actually wanted to talk about that RFC. Yeah, I saw some comments from Jesse. Uh, yeah, like yeah, he was mentioning about the backward compatibility if there's a for that launcher thing. Uh, uh, yeah, I don't know whether everyone has a context or not. So yeah, I'll just paste the RFC. Yeah. Yeah, so basically, uh, this is the RFC that in the in the notes. So here we are proposing that for launcher, a launcher to be decoupled from lifecycle releases, and instead we have it as a part of run image, so that we can have it basically patched whenever there's a CV in the launcher. So yeah, there were some discussions around this. Yeah, and yeah, so the latest comment from Jesse was whether there will be any issues regarding compatibility. Let's say a customer has built the application with some platform and built back API, and then we upgrade the launcher. So there might be some issues at the serving time. It might break applications. But yeah, I think for that also I have replied to the comment. So it's mostly that we are thinking of having some meta launcher kind of thing to basically have multiple launcher binaries in the meta launcher. And as per the ENV set, like CNB platform API and the CNB build pack API, there's a custom logic that which launcher to invoke. So that is like wanted to you know thoughts on this. Yeah.
Was that what you were describing? Was that the suggestion from Jesse?
No, no. Jesse was raised this concern that how will you solve this, and there'll be issues like this. So this is like how we are trying to solve in case.
I see. I see. I didn't totally follow. I don't know if any of you other all have thoughts, but I think I don't know, and maybe Juan can help too. But I think the folks that work more closely with life cycle be better to evaluate that. I was kind of following the comments and Jesse's comments and stuff, but um, not totally up to speed.
Oh, yeah, this is regarding the RFC. Hello, guys. I'm sorry, a little bit late. Uh, yeah. So I I've been trying to keep on today with all the discussion now. So one thing that Jesse was pointing out was because there is a previous RFC that it's already approved, not implemented, I think, but it's already approved, which allowed us to like rebase not just the run image, other layers too, including the launcher in theory. But I know that for Google's perspective, I mean, you don't use the rebaser, you have another approach with metadata and labels and layers to do that. So the main thing is trying to, I mean, the consequence or the implications or of moving forward with putting this, I mean, the executable for the launcher into the run image. So, I mean, there are some edge cases we still are not sure, and that I think Jesse pointed out. So the other approach was, and I believe Jesse's trying to test that, is if he managed to implement the launcher in Rust, which in theory it's gonna like reduce the area for CVE scanner to find things because right now most of the CVEs are related to Go libraries and not because affect the launcher, just because it's Go. So Jesse said, okay, if I manage to like re-implement the launcher in Rust with a minimal area for scanners to find things, that will help you to solve the problem without keep moving forward with this path of. So yes, he already has something in place, but he haven't tested. So I believe the strategy we are saying is, can we wait for this RFC to move forward? Try to go with the new approach for the launcher, and that would help Google to do, I mean, to reduce the requirement to like do this rebasing under the launcher layer. Because the other one, it's like, hey, we already think on how to rebase the launcher with the previous RSC, but if it doesn't work for Google because the scale is huge and it's different, it's like this look like a platform problem. Right? It's like trying to solve and change the spec and everything to a small for just one platform implementer. So, I mean, we are in that position where we don't know exactly the consequences of moving forward with the RFC. So that's more or less the situation I have. I understand based on comments and everything. So not sure how it looks like for you, Hemant. Uh, we want to move forward and at least give it a try to the launcher in Rust. Uh, and if that would help you solve the problem for Google's perspective and the scale thing, I think that will be like, because it's gonna also help other people like Paqueto and everybody that's having the issue with, the launcher reporting CVEs. Everybody has that problem. So we already tried to address that problem with a previous RFC, which will help everybody to rebase the launcher. So we already think about it. Now the problem that this RFC is trying to solve, it's different because it's a scale problem in particular Google infrastructure where you don't use the rebaser, which is a different thing. And so we are not sure trying to solve that in the spec and everything. I don't know if I make myself clear.
Uh, yeah, definitely. Like having the launcher in Rust would be great. Like because mostly the CVs are like, the source of CVs are mostly the Go packages.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Yeah. So basically, why we propose this? Because like uh, as a launcher, so what we were trying to think is having not just the launcher. Basically like even in the even with Rust, there's nothing that we can upgrade for customers, right? Like as a basically after the build is done. So even with Rust, like having this option of having the launcher in an image, and because I think the most like that it depends on is just build pack and the platform API, right? So and if we guarantee that build pack and platform API compatibility is what we are ensuring in the run image, like either through some flags or through ends. Uh, so that can actually open the doors for uh, like even updating Rust launcher in future, right? So that's kind of like whole idea, like how why we wanted to. It's not just that whether the launcher is in Rust or Go. Yeah, the main point was like CV fixing. But yeah,
Ah,
the yeah, like we also wanted to have the second. But yeah, definitely it makes point to have in Rust also. Yeah. But as an effort wise, like, do you think having launcher decoupled would be even more like as an optional feature so that we can actually test it, and even like with Rust we can use that.
I mean, I think that what it's hard to, I mean, the output OCI image is different, even if it's a symlink to, I mean, if so, the problem is how do we guarantee that if I already built my application with some versions and stuff, and then I put this new feature in place, and then I try like to rebase that layer. I mean, how can we guarantee that we have everything in place to for platform implementers to be sure that they are not going to break things? Uh, because like the when you do a build with the feature or without it, the output OCI images, in theory, it's different because one has the executable in the layer, the other one is a symlink to another layer that we do not control. So, for example, Paqueto was asking if I want to use this feature, I will need to change my run image. Do I have to put it there? Do I have to change the whole thing I'm doing? And probably if you are the build pack author and you create your own run image, and like Google, right? Google said, okay, this is my run image because it's my platform and whatever, and you are running your workloads in my platform. So I'm trying to build something that solve your workloads in my platform. But we are trying to see the problem in a different way. We're trying to see the problem where all the pieces for build packs, in theory, can be you can exchange them with other providers and everything should work because they are following the spec, right? So that's the magic behind it. So the challenge is how do we put this RFC in order to guarantee for people that it's not running on Google, that they can switch and do the same thing with other providers without having issues. And I believe that's the area where we have some doubts because we are decoupling the launch layer, the launcher, but putting in another place that we do not control. It's gonna be like build pack authors problem because they control their own image. So how do we do that? It's like it's not the feature, it's how do we actually think on every use cases, not just the use case for Google or a particular platform implement. That's I believe where we are still not, we still have some doubts. I'm not saying we need to like drop the feature. We just need to think a little bit more about the whole scenario, not just the specific one for a platform implementer.
Definitely. Like this makes sense. Like this is definitely one platform, might be some others, but yeah, definitely. Uh, just one thing I had. So you mentioned about how will buildpacks ensure that the launcher is present in the run image and these kind of issues that you are seeing, right? With this RFC. So yeah, so basically, I think somewhere in the comments also it was mentioned that there should be some kind of validation or something, like
Yeah,
in the run image itself, right? Uh,
yeah,
or maybe at the build step that it guarantees that the a valid launcher do exist at in the run image.
yeah.
And
I mean,
yeah,
yeah, you can try to in the RFC.
Hmm.
What we need to do is like think on different use cases or the use cases Daniel Mikusa is asking. Like, if I mean, because the thing is, Google do not use the rebaser. And we are providing the rebaser because we can put these validations in place. Hey, read the metadata for the run image, read the metadata for the workload, validate APIs, version, blah, blah, blah. And if it's not saved, rebaser is going to say, hey, no, I can't rebase the thing because it's not compatible, right? But Google do not use the rebaser.
yeah,
So you are telling me, hey, I'm not going to execute the rebaser for millions of workloads, right? It doesn't scale. So how do we, I mean, at least on spec, if you don't do it, that's okay. But a spec should be writing in a way that those validations should take place to do the operation of rebasing some layer. So that's the kind of things uh, that probably we will need to dive into the RFC, those use cases, not how Google is going to do it. No, just be sure that the spec and everything, steps are there. And everybody that start using the feature with all workloads that do not have support for it or they were not built with a version of the life cycle that support that, okay, what's going to happen? What's supposed to be happening in those cases and things like that. So I believe yes, we I put some comment regarding hey, we can put this metadata in the run image
Hmm.
or in the application image, so the rebaser can use them to do checking and to warm the end user if he can move forward or not. So those things should be in the RFC and we need to cover most of the like ed cases. Uh, and I think that will help us to understand me and the community to say, okay, yeah, I think this is safe. We can move forward, or no, maybe what happened in this other case and things like that. What happened with the packet or what happened with a build pack provider? Uh, does it change the way they do things? If they don't want to use it, it's okay. So those, like those
yeah.
cases, combinations of scenarios, that's probably where we need to dive in a little bit more, to be sure, just to everybody know what's gonna happen. Um, yeah, I think that's my read from comments and trying to put everything and see, okay, how we can help you. Um, so my suggestions are those. if you think you mentioned something, I'm trying to take a look on the RFC because the problems you put there, one was the CVEs, like, yeah, the motivation. So one was the security patching via rebased, and the other one was the customized launcher, right?
Yeah.
But customized launcher, you can do it. If I'm not sure, Joe and everyone, I remember. I do remember that you can like define the path where the launcher is, so you can actually during the build application, you can replace the launcher with whatever launcher you want. I mean, we're not forcing you to use this launcher. You can define like, hey, this is the executable for the launcher when you build the image. So in theory, you can like replace the launcher we are providing with something else. I believe that's already, I mean, you can do that. What was not easy to do was rebasing that layer for the launcher, and the previous RFC allows that.
Well, so
Yeah.
I know we sorry, I'm just trying to think from the pack perspective. I don't recall us ever exposing the ability to replace
No.
the launcher, but
Yeah,
from the
that's correct. I had that doubt. So Pack is not exposing it, but
yeah,
Google uses the creator.
okay, sorry, yes.
Yes, so Lifecycle exposes the options to do that. Not Pack, but you're not using Pack. So
Yeah.
in theory, right now, if you're using the creator, you can define your own launcher. So if you think there is another use case, another motivation for this RFC, let's start with that. Hey, if we implement the launcher in Rust, okay, the security patching probably will be solved because no new CVEs, annoying CVEs are gonna be reported. Check. Now, validate please the customized launcher. If you know that feature, if you need help, I can point it out on the life cycle so you can give it a try. And if there is another use case you have in mind, let's see how we discuss, if this is the approach or not. So we can help you on trying to find the correct solution, not just for a platform implementer, but the whole community, right? And see how we can move it forward.
That's really interesting. So, do you need the launcher to have a different interface, I suppose? What is the because one has pointed out what we all forgot is that as you're using Creator, you can provide your own launcher binary. And then from a spec perspective, it is, do you need the launcher to have a different interface from the current interface that's spec'd?
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
So, so Juan's pointed out that you can replace the launcher binary. And my question then is, from a spec perspective, do you need like the G launcher, the Google launcher, to have a different interface from the standard interface that we've spec'd?
No, like that's not as a requirement. Like we can have this same implementation. So, like custom launcher, yeah, but we, like as I mentioned in the RFC, like what we meant by that is kind of a meta launcher having multiple launchers inside it. That's like related to this RFC that whenever we have it in run image, so uh, based on the nvars we can have invoke the correct launcher. So and so that's kind of like what we wanted to have, but it's nothing related to like whether we want a different spec or not. Like we are okay with the current implementation.
Okay, I see that because I mean, if we keep the idea of let me move the launcher to the run image because you already swap the run image at some point.
Yeah.
So the one annoying you is the launcher layer. So you said, let me move the thing to the run image so I can swap in the same way I'm doing it right now. I don't need to change it, what I'm doing right now, and I fix both problems. Now, okay, then we have the compatibility issue and everything we need to change on the spec to allow the launcher to be in the run image. Then to trying to solve the compatibility issue, you came up with the idea of this meta launcher where I can have different versions to support different workloads because I have millions of workloads. So sometimes
Yeah.
some of them are very old, some of them will be new, and they will need different launcher versions. But I'm gonna put all of them in the run image so I can swap the layer and fix the issue without, having a big problem for the platform. Okay, now that will not solve the CVEs in theory, right? Because the CVEs is going to keep annoying you with Go library. So yeah, you will say, yes, I update the wrong image. That's it. and problem solved. So the metadata is not a it's not a bad idea, I think, but not sure. Like I already have the problem with the spec moving the launcher to the run image and then trying to define this meta launcher thing. Or even if I don't know if you need us to do it, because if you can replace the launcher right now and you point to your own meta launcher that behind the scenes do whatever you want, will not that fix? Will you be able to do it without changing the spec and everything? You can do whatever you want right now if you replace the launcher with an interface that fill the spec. Now, if you replace that with your own meta launcher, for the workload perspective, in theory, I believe you don't need to change anything else. But not sure if the CVE part is going to be solved. So I think the first step I will give is move forward with the Rust launcher maybe to see if it works, because CVE's problem it's going to be reduced. So that's one of the motivations for everything else. And then we can still try to see, hey, I think this feature is valuable because of this and this, and we can explore how to move forward. Yeah, those are my thoughts. It's a shame Jesse's not here because I'm talking for him, but that's what more or less I understood about the whole thing.
Yeah, definitely, like the rest is definitely something we would like to have as well. And we can explore on the other part as well. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Nice. Please, didn't I don't know. I do not.
I think this is basically the only agenda item.
Okay.
I hope this has been helpful discussion, but yeah, we really probably need to get Jesse involved. So we should do some more back and forth on the RFC. Definitely think about what we've talked about, and then I'll see. I'll see if I can talk to Jesse and maybe get him here next week. But definitely keep the async discussion going. But yeah, unless
Yeah.
you want to discuss more, I think that's the last agenda item.
No, I don't have anything else. I didn't join the last two working groups, and I've been helping him on this. I gave him the idea to create the RFC, so I felt a little bad not to join in.
No. This is important discussion. Just we've got to explore the ideas, to get this right. And definitely him on, like I want you to know how much we care to get it right. I think it just requires some deep thinking, and it's an
Yeah.
interesting problem. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want you to be upset or sad because all this process, I've been in the same place with month with opened RFC to try to change something and discussing and going, in circles. But that's the whole process. It's a good process. We are just trying, as Joe said, to make things right for the whole community. We're open to receive new features, and we really enjoy this kind of talks. So please don't feel bad about it. Okay, this is the natural process. We are just trying to do the best out of
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
Okay.
Like that's like definitely a lot of help, like with the support that we are seeing. So yeah, definitely very happy about it. So,
Thank you.
and definitely like we'll like to, if there's something we'll like to contribute as well. So yeah.
Nice. Good. Yeah, I don't have anything else, man.
cool. Okay, I guess that's it. Unless there's, let me double check. There's no other topics. Oh, we do have something here. Someone added the samples updated to latest Ubuntu LTS. Anybody want to comment on that?
They're just updated. It's published, so we now have instead of a noble, we've got a whatever the flaming heck the raccoon one is called. And
Oh yeah, I see.
there's a PR for the docs to get updated if anyone wants to approve it, and that just means that we look like we're up to date with stuff, which is good.
Yeah, I'll review this right now. Looks like there's a couple Veil.
Yeah, I'm
Warnings.
ignoring all those because I want to
Okay,
disable
yeah.
that because
Yeah, some of those look annoying.
yeah, I think it was a bad idea to label that in the first place. But,
Cool. Thanks,
super.
Aiden.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah, that's it then. Thanks, folks, and we'll see you next week, I guess.
Have a
Later.
Good.
happy
Bye,
week.
guys. Thank you. Happy to see you.